After its first CEC meeting of 2019, COSATU remains firm on its position on Eskom. It wants the unbundling plan halted. The Federation says the power utility must be equipped to produce renewable energy.
We're still very angry about the government signing an agreement with the renewable energy independent power producers. The state must not just review the REPPs, but must make sure that Eskom produces own renewable and that the independent producers can compete with Eskom if they wish.
COSATU CEC welcomed the decision by the public protector to investigate the awarding of contracts worth billions to IPPs. It also announced that it will set up a team of legal experts to follow the ongoing commissions of inquiry and open cases where necessary.
It is totally unacceptable that despite the fact that were amendment made to the Competition Act criminalizing collusion and calling for jail terms for up to 10 years on directors and employers found guilty, there is no one who has been sent to prison.
On Wednesday, COSATU launched its 40-hour week campaign calling for the scrapping of overtime. It believes it will encourage business to employ more people. Ntlanhla Khatlani, SABC News, Johannesburg.
For an update on Eskom, we're joined now on the line by Eskom's Andrew Etzinger. A very good morning to you, Andrew. For a week or so, we had no load shedding and suddenly, boom, yesterday. There we were. Are we back to square one? What kind of levels can we expect going into this weekend?
Good morning. We looked at the situation yesterday morning, and unfortunately on Wednesday evening and Thursday morning we did see a deterioration in the performance of our generation fleet, and that prompted us to issue an alert of possible load shedding for yesterday and then today and then over the weekend. Fortunately, the situation has improved somewhat and there was no load shedding yesterday. Today, again, we tight. Our reserve margin is not what we need it to be, but we are hopeful that we'll come through today without load shedding. If the situation does change, if we do see additional technical issues arise at our power stations, that may change and we'll inform the public, but so far so good.
How are we looking, though, going into the weekend?
Over the weekend, we would be needing to replenish our emergency reserves for the coming week, and that may require us to create space on the grid for that by implementing load shedding, but that would be a last resort. At this stage, we're again cautiously optimistic that we'll have enough generation plant to build up our reserves without resorting to load shedding. If we do see a change, if we do see additional trips at power stations, of course that changes the equation, but for now, all systems go.
Andrew, give us a sense of what has changed in terms of the issues that were creating load shedding in the last tranche. Have those been resolved?
Not fully. Ultimately, what we're needing to do to get out of load shedding completely is improve the technical performance of our generation plant, and to do that we need to do a lot of maintenance on the old power stations, which we're busy with. Plus we need to improve the performance of the newer power stations, which we're busy bringing online, and we've got a lot of experts actually from around the world on that problem at the moment to get the new power stations up and running. The other issue which has crippled us in the past has been the availability of diesel at our diesel burning power stations. The logistics there have improved considerably. Towards the end of last year we had an outage at the Petro SA refinery, for example, which knocked us badly, but that's up and running, so that has improved. And the last risk which we had towards the end of last year was the availability of coal at a number of our power stations, and glad to say also that the levels of coal have improved. We've bringing a lot of additional coal into our power stations, building up stockpiles to a healthy level. So overall, we are heading in the right direction, but still very vulnerable up until the beginning of winter to load shedding from time to time, because again we're pushing hard on the maintenance, and that means that a lot of power stations are out of service at the moment. A lot of generators at power stations. Sorry.
Thank you for that update, Andrew. But another Eskom-related story we're running this morning is COSATU once again registering their unhappiness about the touted unbundling of Eskom, saying it will lead to privatisation. How is Eskom responding to this?
I must say, and forgive me for this, but at the moment I'm acting head of power generation. I'm trying to keep the lights on. I'm not actually involved too much in discussions around restructuring and unbundling privatization, other than listening to you on the radio talk about them. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't really comment.
That's totally understandable. Thank you so much for your time, Andrew Etzinger from Eskom.